Inside Gaming is sponsored by ExpressVPN. They're the fastest VPN we've ever used. Try them out at expressvpn.com/inside. Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's weekend roundup time. Well, Activision Blizzard, guys, facing yet another crisis as hundreds of employees have walked off the job. It is another work stoppage in a long line of scandals that continue to plague the video game industry giants. So let's talk about what happened. It all started last week at Raven Software, which is best known for their work on the Call of Duty games, of course. Most recently, they worked with Treyarch on Black Ops Cold War and with Infinity Ward on Warzone. Now, last Friday, Activision Blizzard, in classic corporate fashion, laid off at least a dozen contractors from the studio who were working as QA testers at Raven, telling them it was part of a restructuring. Yes, we're going to restructure. You're going to lose your job. Have fun. Welcome to corporate America. So this sparked a lot of anger among Raven employees. One, Austin O'Brien, tweeted last Friday, the day that it happened, that I'm gutted right now. My friends in QA at Raven were promised for months that Activision was working towards a pay restructure to increase their wages. But of course, that didn't happen. Instead, he wrote, today, one by one, valuable members of the team were called into meetings and told they were being let go. He added that it's unfair to these people to string them along, promising something better, and then let them go. I am infuriated right now. So that was on Friday. Then on Monday, Raven studio head Brian Raffel had a big employee-wide meeting, and he proceeded to not help matters at all. He told everyone that he didn't consider the terminations to be layoffs. He called them temporary employment agreements that weren't renewed. Yes, wonderful corporate speak. Now, it's important to note that the video game industry has always kind of treated people as disposable, but it's nice to see people kind of fighting back. Later that day, more than 60 workers at Raven walked off the job in protest. A hashtag #WeAreRaven also spread in support, and a day later on Tuesday, the work stoppage spread. The Raven employees were joined by other workers across various Activision Blizzard studios, totaling at least 200 people who walked off the job. Now, it was virtual. Lots of people were remote. Workers sent management notifications that they were out of the office, quote, in solidarity with my teammates in QA who were let go arbitrarily. The employees demanded that all Raven QA contractors, including the ones laid off Friday, get full-time positions, and that the company reverse the last week's layoffs at Raven. The work stoppage didn't have a set end date, and on Wednesday, they were still off the job. They hadn't returned yet. QA tester Seb Larson wrote on Wednesday that I am so proud of the number of people who turned out yesterday. Almost my entire team did, and many will be doing so again today, hoping that we can all be the voices for change in the industry. And again, this is the way that the game industry has worked for decades, just sort of letting people go, firing them, rehiring them when they need. But it is very cool to see people sticking up and saying, no, you're not going to treat us like this. So a little bit of solidarity among workers, and it's probably got Activision Blizzard nervous. The employee group, A Better ABK, wrote that all of Treyarch's central QA team also walked out as well. Kotaku also reported that they were joined by QA staffers from studios in Texas, Minnesota, and California, including at Blizzard's Irvine campus. Activision Blizzard told the Washington Post, quote, we support their right to express their opinions and concerns in a safe and respectful manner without fear of retaliation. They added that they ended contracts with 20 temporary workers, including the 12 from Raven, across their studios as part of this restructuring. They also said that about 500 contractors would become full-time employees in the coming months. Now, this is the third work stoppage at Activision Blizzard since July. They've obviously been in the news for the sexual harassment scandal. The other work stoppages were kind of part of that. But one more thing, not related, but kind of related in the sense of Activision Blizzard is a terrible employee, so it all kind of comes together. All right, we'll get to the rest of the stories in just a second. But first, guys, let's talk about HelloFresh. Look, it's the holidays. You got too much to do. We all do. Go into the grocery store. It's just an extra pain. Here's what you need to do. Get HelloFresh to send fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes right to your door. Make your life easier. It's one more thing off your plate in the holidays. Right now, they got recipes like balsamic and fig beef tenderloin or pecan-crusted salmon that'll make the holidays feel special. But but it'll save you the cost of going out or delivery. Or go for a cozy comfort food choice like chicken sausage and sweet potato soup for a cold winter night. Or if you're entertaining, they got you covered there too. They got the holiday cheese and charcuterie board and skinny dip dark chocolate peppermint almonds. Yum. I like HelloFresh. It's very easy to prepare. I'm into stir fry. They have a ginger beef stir fry that is mwah. They give you the ingredients, they tell you how to do it, and you really learn how to cook at the same time. Here's what you got to do, guys. Go to HelloFresh.com/roundup14. Use code roundup14 for up to 14 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's up to 14 free meals and 3 free gifts at HelloFresh.com/roundup14 and use code roundup14. On to the rest of the stories. Well, here is some terrible news to kick off the rest of the stories. A PlayStation executive has been fired. That's not necessarily terrible news, but it's terrible because he was caught in a pedophile sting video. George Cassiopo was a senior vice president at Sony Interactive Entertainment. Emphasis on was because he appeared in a video by the group People vs. Preds, and he wasn't a people. No, the group said they had impersonated a 15-year-old boy and made contact with him online. He then allegedly invited them to his home for sex, because the world is terrible. In the video, the group showed up at Cassiopo's home and confronted him. Oh, and he was wearing a PS5 t-shirt at the time. Not great. CNET reported that he was summarily fired, with a Sony representative saying, "We are aware of the situation and the employee in question has been terminated from employment." Unclear if he will face charges. The group said they have turned over evidence to the authorities. On to happier Sony news. They must be feeling some heat from Game Pass because they are apparently working on a similar service to compete with it. Bloomberg reports that it's codenamed Spartacus, and the service would charge a monthly fee for access to classic and modern games. Slated to launch in the spring, it will combine PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now into one service. Bloomberg looked at documents that indicate Sony plans to keep the PlayStation Plus branding and do away with PlayStation Now. There would be 3 tiers. One would be similar to PlayStation Plus, how it works right now. The second would offer a bunch of PS4 and PS5 games. Third tier would add, quote, extended demos, game streaming, and a library of classic PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games. The goal is, of course, to make PlayStation Plus more competitive with Game Pass, which has really grown to an impressive 18 million subs since it launched in 2018. Got some GTA news to share. No, not GTA 6. There is a new story update, though, for GTA Online. It stars the hip-hop mogul Dr. Dre. I remember when he was just a rapper. And it's called The Contract. It'll star Franklin from GTA 5. And in the story, Dre's phone is missing, and he wants it back, of course, because apparently it has unreleased tracks on it. Yeah, I can see how he would want it back. And it is, of course, up to you and your crew to get it back. It will release December 15th. A Switch hacker has been ordered to pay Nintendo big bucks, 10 million of those big bucks, yikes, for selling mods for the Switch and the 3DS. The hacker, with the too on the nose name of Gary Bowser, was a member of the group Team Executor, which sold the mods. Video Games Chronicle reports that the fine was part of a civil case between Bowser and Nintendo, and it comes after he was also fined $4.5 million in a separate federal suit. Now, in that suit, he and another Team Executor member, Max Laron, were charged with 11 felonies, including wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Bowser pled guilty to 2 counts, trafficking in circumvention devices and conspiracy to circumvent technological measures, and offered to pay Nintendo $4.5 million, that's the one we talked about, as well as to help them find other members of the team. Oh, he ratted them out. After he cooperated, prosecutors agreed to waive the other charges, but the judge warned that despite his plea, Bowser could still face prison time for the 2 counts he did plead to. Each is punishable by up to 5 years in prison. All right, time for a 5-second review. It's a good game. Just talking about this, I'm having nightmares about the library level in Halo 1. Whew. No more libraries, ever, for anything. All right, let's talk about the games coming out next week. First up, Among Us. Play with 4 to 15 players online or Wi-Fi as you attempt to prepare your spaceship for departure. But beware, one or more players among the crew are imposters bent on killing everyone. Enjoy cross-platform play between Android, iOS, Switch, PC, and Xbox and PlayStation. It comes to the PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One, December 14th. Clockwork Aquario, the long-thought lost arcade treasure by the legendary Stone team, is finally being brought to light after 30 years. In cooperation with Strictly Limited Games, the unfinished ROM has been dug up and finished with the input of the original developers. Jump and run through a colorful fantasy world, pick up and throw your enemies, get multipliers, and rack up your high score. You can also play with up to 2 friends, where you collaborate to take down Dr. Hangyo or try to sabotage each other to get the high score. It comes to PS4 and Switch December 14th. Fire Girl Hack and Splash Rescue. Take on the role of a young rescue officer starting her career, armed with a trusty axe and high-pressure fire hose that also acts like a jetpack. Fire Girl responds to emergency calls across the city. Can Fire Girl save all the trapped civilians caught in each blaze? Comes to PC December 14th. Greek Memories of Azure is a beautiful single-player puzzle platformer adventure. You will take on the role of 3 siblings, Greek, Adara, and Raydel, to guide them across the lands of Azure, alternate control between them, use their unique abilities to escape from the Urlog invasion. It comes to PS4 and Xbox One December 14th. One Hand Clapping is a vocal 2D platformer. Solve puzzles by singing or humming into your microphone and find the confidence in the power of your voice as it changes the world around you. Comes to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia December 14th. In Rogue Invader, you are the invader attacking the alien horde in this genre-flipping roguelike shooter. Gameplay resembles 1-bit black and white old-school games with modern touches and HD graphics. 20 years ago, the Xenos began invading Terran colonies, leaving a trail of death and tears in their wake. Terrans fought back one planet at a time while building a fleet to stab at the Xeno homeworld. Comes to PC December 15th. The Gunk stars Rainy, part of our duo of gritty space haulers struggling to make a buck as they chance upon an untouched planet brimming with life. They came in search of valuable resources, and it looks like they hit the jackpot. As they uncover the dormant secrets of a shattered civilization, they must battle the curse of a toxic gunk parasite, all while getting caught in a spiral of festering mistrust. Use your trusty power glove to reverse the corruption, uncover the secrets of old, and heal the planet. It comes to PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One December 16th. And finally, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is the latest installment of the family-friendly horror game loved by millions of players. Play as Gregory, a young boy trapped overnight in Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. With the help of Freddy himself, Gregory must survive the near unstoppable hunt of reimagined Five Nights at Freddy's characters, as well as new horrific threats. It comes to PC, PS5, and PS4 December 16th. That's all the news I got for you this week, guys. Hope you're having a great weekend. See you soon.